Hello, this is John Kvale, and this is our Q2 2016 newsletter review. So I've got a lot of information to cover, and I will get right on it. Let me first show you a couple of ways to get to this information. Number one, we can go to our website, and as you see, Q2 is not here because I haven't done the video yet, but you can click on this, or this will bring up a PDF version that's called Swift, and it's interactive. You can click on this for a actual PDF, and you can click on this for the video that we're recording right now. So here's what you'll get if you click on that first one. It's called the Swift file. It's kind of cool. I like how it looks like what you would see in a magazine, but we're not going to work off of that this time. You know what? Let's do work off of this one. I've changed my mind. This is giving us a good view. All right. I was going to work off the PDF. Let's get to it. Let's talk about the super important thing that's on everybody's mind right now other than the markets, and that is the 5 what I call last-minute tax tip savings. And we have been dominated by taxes, and that is really, really good. So here's our 5 last-minute tax saving ideas, and these actually work for 2015. That's why I'm including them again. Fund an HSA, that's the high deductible insurance plan. We can do a SEP, that is basically a beefed up IRA against any kind of consulting W-2 type of income, or certain types of consulting, not any. Itemize our general sales tax deduction, that's a good one. We get a standard one based on geography and what our actual income is. And the fourth one is good old favorite, fund a deductible IRA. If we're available, there are quite a few limitations, but if it is at all possible, you might be able to fund an IRA. And check for our real estate transactions. If we had some real estate transactions last year, double check that closing statement and make sure you got them all. All right, so taxes are good. Let's talk capital markets. Got a really good article, and this is going to also feed into the newsletter or the cover for the performance report. But what I wanted to talk about is I call this whether this was a dress rehearsal. Well, maybe we had a couple of dress rehearsals. This one was a little bit more serious, a dress rehearsal or the real thing. A couple of things are going on here. Number one, as I mentioned in here, the capital markets, domestic capital markets, predominantly the Dow and the S&P, peaked in June of 2015. We've been on a slow but steady decrease here, and we've made lower lows. So here's what we've got. I've talked about this before. We've got a resistance area here. We've got a support area here and a resistance area here. Break through to the upside, it's likely we may go forward more. Break through the downside, we may go down more. The main thing this is a lot of voodoo, and I know a lot of you don't watch it or follow it, but the main thing that this is kind of has us watching this is we're very late in an economic cycle, and should we go through one of these, especially on the downside, it could be a rather large move on the downside. So we're really keeping an eye on that. All right. Now, at the very end of the quarter, I had my credit card hacked into, and it gave me the great idea for a use of the new vault. So my credit card was hacked into, and I go into using the vault. Those of you that are vault users, boy, are we excited for this. This article basically talks about what I have put in my personal vault. I have driver's license, health insurance card, library card, voter's registration, birth certificate. I want to add something new that I've put in as well, is a picture of my car's license plate. Ever get someplace and they ask you, what's your license plate? You don't know? Well, it's in my vault right now. All right, quickly, in the essence of time, let me tell you what's going on here. This is the website for the vault that you pull off of your phone. This is a picture of my cell phone. Once logged in, you will see these different items in the vault. This is what it looks like from a laptop, from this laptop, as a matter of fact. And then here's another screen here that's called an organizer, and this is where we add and connect our other accounts. That's one of the parts that, especially what we're going to be able to do is eventually be able to hook into everyone's 401ks and see their company 401k, so we can better, in live time, get a view of it. Okay, so that covers our first 3 here. I will move rather quickly. We are going to this is a fun new addition. I do this with several study groups, and this is the app of the quarter. One of my favorite apps that I use all the time is called Listmaster. I'll let you read this, but we've got a really good one for next quarter already that's been unanimously voted by my family. In the last quarter, or the beginning of the quarter, I was asked to write for Investopedia, and it is an open forum. The reason I do it is to give back to the community, but I've found a great positive over in addition to that, and that is that they ask a lot of questions that are frequently asked in the office. So I go over a few questions here. Most of these questions are not asked for clients, but they're asked frequently for relatives, children, things of that nature. So that's I went over a couple of these bullet points, and so let's move on here. And so I go over, there's a couple of really very good questions in here, and you can see my answers. These are all public, and I show you where to get to them if at all, if you're interested. Lastly here, this was a credit.com article, and I put in here that this article was totally requested by the publisher, so it's not applicable to everyone. But what's neat about it is I really found some interesting stats, and I'm going to write about some of this in the blog, the Street Sense blog post as well. But can you believe, this is interesting, that basically I'm looking for the part of it here. In essence, 41% of the time we eat out, or we eat out of the house, and I was just stunned to find that out. That one statistic is why I wanted to keep this, why I wanted to put this article in the newsletter. I finished with the aforementioned sites, the great BLS, which is where I got some information for that article, nice parting shots, and believe it or not, this may be one of the shortest newsletter reviews that we've done. I hope you like it. I like doing the video because it gives you a little bit more background of what's going on. Oh, here's another way to get, if you click on this is going to fire up the PDF that we looked at as well. So, but I like doing this because it gives you some direct insights to what I was thinking. Again, this is all written by myself. I love doing it. Never thought I would do it as a numbers guy, not a word guy. I hope you enjoy. Thank you for your time in advance, and we look forward to seeing you next quarter. And be sure and check out our Street Sense blog site. Thank you very much.